Awesome. All right, man. You're set?
Yeah.
You're in focus?
Yep.
Sweet. I wrote this down just in case my intro last night, and I didn't even need it. Now I feel like I do. Can't remember what the hell I was going to say. All right. Okay, man. Yeah, so this name is either going to turn you off or you're going to be like, okay, it's actually kind of dope. Weird flex, but okay. All right. Okay. Yo, what's up? Welcome to ZFK Everything. This is the show where we discuss anything and everything, and I'm your host, ZFK. I'd like to welcome my guest today, the Prince Bahdi. Bro, so you've been on a tear. COVID's kind of slowed things down a little bit, but tell the camera who you are, where you're from, and what your jam is.
Prince Bahdi from Niagara Falls, Ontario. I'm 9-0 as a professional boxer, and I'm going for number 10 in 1 week.
Right on. So we just did some progress picks, Lucas and I, last week. The guy's already shredded. He just told me he lost another, 9 pounds?
Yeah.
Amazing. I just lost 6 pounds personally in the gym, so I don't know how the hell you managed to do that in 3 weeks when it took me 2.5 months almost to lose 6 pounds. So I'm assuming that's the diet. I know that you do some meal prep with 905 eats, or did they change?
Just eats,
right?
Yep.
Okay, right on. Yeah, this guy Lucas has a what is it called? The Body Bowl.
That's the driver.
The Body Bowl, baby.
Yeah, he's great with marketing. He's working with other businesses, and that's what this podcast is also about: is cross promotion. And the fact that you guys have been just pumping this Body Bowl through their social media and stuff is awesome. As you know, I went and got one. It's pretty freaking sweet, man.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
I actually missed my haircut with Jo because I didn't realize that it was gonna take a little bit of time to prep it, and they put the love into the Body Bowl.
Yeah.
So I missed my haircut with Josh, but it was well worth the ribeye steak and the shrimp. It was sweet.
Yeah, tons of flavor in it. Yeah, I've been on meal plans with these for about 4 weeks right now.
Nice.
And that's the only thing I really changed to lose the weight. I train steady, hard all year round.
Yeah.
But for me to actually cut that weight, it's all in the diet.
I totally agree, man. Literally, we were just talking before we let the cameras roll about how I had a bit of an off year and I was lacking in the gym. And I just got back in for about 9 or 10 weeks, give or take. And I'm already seeing wicked crazy changes just mentally and visually with my body. I was saying to Lucas, I'm literally feeling like I'm starting to get superpowers. Just the mood lift is awesome. I know that you don't know the difference because you're always fit, but coming from not a good health state to that in such a short amount of time, it's just been life changing. And I knew it would be because I've had lots of times where I've been in shape and I've had plenty of times where I've been just lacking, right? Not doing nothing. So I guess where I was going with that was the diet. The diet thing's huge. I feel like that'd be the next big step for me, is if I just had the diet right and didn't have not that I'm a big snacker, but definitely I'm out and about and it's hard not to have a little bit of fast food here during the week. So if I could cut that out or do a meal plan like you are, man, I feel like that would be the secret kind of key that's missing to the formula.
Yeah, 100%. It's a game changer. It's a game changer. But to get off the couch after so long and just start getting into the workout routine.
Mm-hmm.
It's tough. It's hard to get motivated because you're so out of shape.
Yeah.
But once you get into the routine, it changes, right? And you're obviously gotten into it already.
Yes, I think the routine is huge. Now I get kind of pissed off or bummed out if I can't go to the gym.
Yeah.
And I know that you probably know the feeling because it's part of the ritual each day, right? But I find that for habitual purposes, it takes, for the gym, for example, it takes 2-3 sessions to start to feel okay, now I'm not doing this as a chore. I'm going because I actually like it. But most of the time, it's usually a 2-week thing. Once you surpass a 2-week period on some sort of habitual thing that you're trying to enforce in your life, that's kind of the threshold where it kind of solidifies.
Exactly.
You probably agree, right?
Yeah, exactly.
What do you like recommend? Do you have any recommendations for kind of like diets? Have you done anything like anything more extreme like keto or anything like that, or
No,
just healthy eating?
yeah, I mean, I do more of a balanced meal,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, you get your proteins, your fats, your carbs, and obviously your vegetables. But
Mm,
it's all about the portion sizes, right?
right.
I mean, when you're eating at home and you're just grabbing from the bowl or whatever, you don't really know how much you're eating.
Do you measure things out?
100%.
Calorie count too?
Yeah. I mean, not really calorie count. I somewhat yes,
Yeah.
but not totally 100%.
Mm-hmm.
I got a meal plan that just works for me,
Yep.
and
Custom too. That's the thing. Is
100%.
that's what
Everyone's
I've been
different.
hearing. Is everyone's different, and like it all comes down to like genetics.
Yeah.
To science, right? And I
Yeah.
think that we are only scratching the surface with like dietary sciences. So
Yeah.
it's kind of neat. But anyways, continue.
Yeah. I mean, like, I got a meal plan that works for me,
Mhm.
and it's around 1700 calories
Oh,
a
per
day.
day.
Per day.
Okay.
Per day. So it's, I
Nice.
mean, I feel great when I'm on it. I don't feel like I'm hungry. I don't feel like I'm weak.
Mm-hmm.
It just, it's the perfect amount for me, and my weight just every week just slowly drops. It's not gonna be like you're losing 10 pounds in a week. No.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
not healthy.
yeah, exactly. I'm like around 3 pounds a week
Mm-hmm.
is where you want to be. Any
Right.
more than that, then you might be too low on calories or whatever, right? But you don't want to overwork the body as well.
Right. So, a question in relation to weigh-ins. Obviously, the reason why you're cutting weight is to make a weigh-in. Kind of a controversial topic, but in the world of I was going to say fighting sports, combat sports is a proper word. What do you have any like adverse opinions to uh, the weigh-in classes and stuff? Do you think like the barriers should be broken down on that? Should there be more like weight classes and whatnot, or are you like happy with how that sits right now professionally? Because I know they talk about it in UFC a lot. You're a boxer, so it's a little bit different, but just wondering your take on that.
I mean, everyone's got their own thoughts on it, but like right now, I'm walking around at 146 pounds,
Mm-hmm.
and my weight class is lightweight, which is 135 pounds, right?
Okay.
I mean, to make that weight, I'd have to drop another 11 pounds, and people are thinking, how the heck's this guy gonna lose another 11 pounds? You know, he's massive for lightweight, but
You're gonna have to get your bone marrow taken out, bro.
yeah, well, I mean,
Luckily, there's no leg kicks. You take it out of the leg. In boxing, no one's gonna kick your legs. Your legs will be a little bit flimsy, but you'll be all right.
yeah, exactly. I mean, I've been doing it for so long that I have a schedule that I go by, and I mean, for me to make lightweight, I really only got a couple more pounds to go, and then the rest is all water weight.
Right, right. Are you a fan of like any supplements or like creatine or anything like that?
No,
No,
I mean, I stay.
you're
I,
just
I don't. I don't
natural.
touch any supplements.
Mhm.
I don't even really have protein powder.
I'm not a big fan of protein.
Yeah, I mean,
I
I
like
get
creatine,
all my nutrients from the food I eat. As long as I'm having good quality foods,
Yeah.
you don't need supplements.
That is very true, man. Very true. And that is what I've heard from everyone that knows their shit on the topic.
Yeah.
100%. So yeah, I got a couple questions I wanted to throw at you. I think we did go over them already, so you might have a little bit of preparation. But how did 2020 go in terms of the unfortunate circumstances that is the pandemic? Um, we're not going to get into it on this because I know that you and I probably share the same opinion on what COVID is and the bullshit that runs with it in terms of like business and whatnot, but I don't want to really go there. I just want to ask you, like, outside of business, just in your boxing career, how did this year affect you? What did you get from it in terms of like gains and positive and net negatives? What was the situation with this year in comparison to where you're going in 2021?
Well, it's a good question. As you know, like in 2019, I was flying. I was fighting every single month, and it was just
Which
like,
I think is genius, by the way.
yeah,
This guy just debuted his professional career and basically went straight to fighting once a month, and now he's 9-0. So it's pretty impressive to see him go and make a professional record like that so quickly.
Yeah, it was something I planned on doing, and I wanted to get 10, 12 fights before I started to slow down the pace. But what it did for me actually is I got to my 9-0, and then obviously the pandemic hit, and I haven't fought since, and it's been since February, end of February. But when you're fighting so often, it's just like you're in training camp. I was in training camp for 9 months straight, so it was just like fight, take a rest day, back in the gym. Fight, take a rest day, back in the gym. And it was just training camp, training camp, training camp. And now this time off fighting, it actually gave me a lot of time to work on technical aspects.
I want you to also mention, what did you do during the peak of the beginning of COVID? You didn't live at home. Remember what you did?
Yeah.
What did you do?
Yeah, I was out in my RV, and I was living out there by myself.
Chopping wood and just work it out.
Yeah, I was working out just in the forest basically, right?
But so crazy, man. When
yeah,
I seen you do that, I was like, guy's a genius.
Yeah, it was something I wanted to do, take my mind off everything, and obviously I tried to stay off social media and all that kind of stuff. Just
too much negativity at that time.
Yeah, exactly. I wanted to stay positive.
Yeah.
But like I was saying, like this time where I am not in training camp, it gave me a lot of time to work on specifics. Okay. Defensive, offensive, like footwork, balance. It gave me a lot of time to work on, the things that you need to grow as a fighter. And it's important because a lot of people, they don't work on their technical aspects. They're just like, okay, when they got a fight booked, they're in the gym for 6 weeks, 7 weeks. So they sit on the couch, they do whatever, they go for a run once a week, and then as soon as they got a fight, they crack down. But for me, I was working on getting better as a fighter, and it actually did a lot of benefit for me. And I feel like in the last 7-8 months, however long it's been, I've improved such a big amount. Amazing. And while everyone else was kind of just, they got no fights scheduled, they're not motivated. They're not in the gym.
Yeah, I did the same thing the first few weeks when COVID started. I didn't stop working when COVID started. I always have a lot of work that is on the backlog. But I had a few clients, like Hilton, for example. I was very lucky to work with them, and when we did their entire first lobby level, because they just renovated the whole premise. And within days after shooting, lockdown. So I basically put that job on hold for like months, because I was like, well, I heard Hilton stock might go to zero. Stock market's crashing. Fucking who knows what's going on, man. I'm not gonna continue to do like these big jobs if I don't know if I'm gonna get paid, because the economy's falling apart, which luckily due to the stimulus money, that isn't looking like it's ever going to happen. We're just going to continue to inflate this bubble of an economy we have. But so I met you at LA Fitness in the Falls with your brother, who's also a complete gem. Lucas has a body. Lucas Body's brother is John Body, and he's also a great guy and talented at what he does. He does real estate, and I'm probably going to invite him to come on here too, because I was trying to get some sort of either real estate cinematographer or a real estate agent to come on today to talk about that.
Yeah.
Because I do a lot of real estate work, and I think it's cool to talk about that market, even just locally between like the Niagara to Toronto market and stuff. What's happened in regards to COVID with everyone coming down here and buying houses during the pandemic. Like one of my clients, Carl Vanderkoop from Up House GC, that guy, I thought the real estate economy was going to fall apart, to be honest, when COVID started. That guy was on social media saying that he sold more houses in the month of June 2020 than he did in 2019 as a year.
Wow.
Which just goes to show people are desperate to get out of Toronto when you're going to be on lockdown and you're stuck in your shoebox, right? People want to have a backyard, come down to Niagara, and if we're going to go through these lockdowns, you can't be stuck in a tiny little condo with maybe a little balcony, or if you're lucky or unlucky, no balcony, right?
Yeah, cheaper living,
fresh air,
cheaper living,
better
cheaper
quality
real estate,
of life too,
better
right?
quality, 100%. right up close to your neighbors, right? But
Exactly.
I mean, it's gonna be growing dramatically because
with
everyone's
you.
working from home anyway.
Yeah. Even just locally with Niagara, bro, like my vision for Niagara is in the next decade. I think that you're going to see this kind of golden horseshoe belt from Toronto kind of expand down to Niagara Falls. And I think you're going to start to see with the implementation of the GO rail network down to Niagara Falls, you're probably going to start to see people that have a higher wage from working in Toronto come down here and want to buy Fallsview condos. I think you're going to see a whole bunch more than just hotels in Niagara Falls soon in the next decade, man. With people having a easier access to Toronto besides being stuck in traffic, they can go up there and work, come down and live in Niagara. It's only like an hour train ride, and there's definitely going to be a demand in the market to have some like Fallsview condos. I think it's going to be pretty sweet, man.
Yeah, I see that happening too.
For sure, because there is no access to any sort of Fallsview apartment or condo at the time. It's all hotel rooms in Niagara Falls, right? So it's going to be cool to see something like that popping up, and I would definitely, if I could afford it, I would definitely have one of those properties.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's a great investment, right? And it'd be amazing to be living there.
Yeah. Well, I know like both of us are going big places. That's kind of my um, goal for property in the next 5 years. I would love to have some sort of property as a base here between Niagara and Toronto, and then have some sort of snowbird type of property down like California. Hopefully, I can get some sort of legal way to work in the States as a cinematographer, videographer, photographer, or yeah, it would have to be California. I was going to say somewhere south like Florida or Cali, but Cali is where the industry is, so that's where I'd want to be. But yeah, so I got on a bit of a tangent there when I was talking about your brother. I was going to say I met both of you at LA Fitness. As you know, it's a pretty good community there. There's a lot of cool people that work out there, and you know you can network just about anywhere that you go. You guys were a network that I made, but I wanted to talk about your support system, like who has your back, because from my experience coming to your house and doing some shoots prior to your Rumble in the Falls 3 event. Basically, I just noticed that you have a awesome family at home, from what I can tell. Your dad's a gem, your mother and your sister are awesome. Your brother is a hustler. You're a hustler as well. I think you guys are like a unit. I can tell you guys are all kind of close, right?
Yeah.
So as far as your coaching team and family, like how does that help you in your career? Like, I'm guessing that the support that you have really helps, and Shelby as well. Your girlfriend, you guys have been together
Fiance
forever.
now.
Fiance.
Yeah.
Right on, bro. Congrats.
Thank you.
Yeah, she's awesome too. But yeah, you have all these like really supportive people behind you. What does that mean to you?
I mean, it's huge. It makes a big difference. Takes a lot of stress off you, right?
Yeah.
Especially when they're there supporting you and they're doing whatever you need to take your mind off other things and just focus on the training, right?
Yeah.
So it's definitely a huge help, and I thank them for that.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, you have like all these awesome supports, and I think like I don't know, like it's kind of like as a man, like you want to take on the world and like face it all by yourself, and like you want to be like a strong-minded person, but like at the end of the day, it does really help to have like these different people supporting you in the background and cheering you on, type thing, right?
100%. I mean,
Yeah.
behind every great champion, there's a greater team.
I love it.
Right.
Love
It's you can't build a champion from one guy, one coach. You need outlooks from everywhere, and you need to have support team, and you need to have literally everything. There needs to be. It's like building a house. You don't get one guy that builds a house, right? You get your electricians, your plumbers, right? Your drywallers, your painters. It's a team effort.
Yes. Yeah, man. I totally love how you just summed that up, and that's probably going to end up being like the preview clip that goes on Instagram for this. Yeah, okay, so I asked you about 2020. Tell me about how you got into boxing, what inspired you to take this so seriously, and with that, from the start till now, what was like your most proud career moment?
I mean, I started boxing just because I was a really active kid. I loved to fight, and it was something that always interested me. I wanted to learn how to fight, like properly, and I had a buddy, Mike Abriscato, that joined the boxing club at the time, and we were on the same hockey team.
Okay.
So I
Didn't
ended
know
up.
you played hockey.
Yeah, yeah. I was actually a hockey goalie
That was like,
for
oh,
years.
fuck.
Yeah.
Okay. That was the one thing that I wish that my parents had enrolled me in. Because I played some soccer and then I played football for 5 years in high school. But as a Canadian, I felt like I was a little bit left out of that niche. Like I can skate, but yeah, I never really played very much hockey.
You're not
So-
a true Canadian then.
Yeah, I guess. Right? Yeah. Fucking detriment to my own country. Deported.
Yeah. So I basically just started up, and I was having some fun with it. I wasn't really taking it like too serious.
Mhm.
And a few months later, I started sparring, and within a year, I had my first fight,
Okay.
and I loved
And
it.
how many fights did you have? Unprofessional is not the word, but
Amateur
fights. Yeah. How many? Did you have?
amateur fights? I had 97 fights. I was fighting a lot. I was fighting.
Camera guy's eyeballs and just opened up and his jaw dropped to the floor. I've been in like one fight in my life. This guy's been in over 100.
Yeah.
In the ring.
Yeah, I mean it's something that I love to do, and
Gotta love it to pursue it like you do, man.
100%. I mean, if you don't enjoy it, there's no point in doing it.
Yeah.
So I just started fighting, and then when I reached about 6-7 fights, that's when I thought, you know what, I'm gonna take this thing really seriously, and that's when I dropped everything. I quit soccer, I quit hockey, and I focused everything on boxing, and I went to the junior national championships, the provincials. I went to the senior nationals, and I was winning and winning and winning and winning. I mean, you lose the odd fight here and there. It's part of the game, right? But my proudest moment was obviously, as you know, I'm a 3-time national champion. I won in 2015. I won 2016. 2017, I got a silver medal. I lost a 2-1 decision in the finals. And I would say my proudest moment was coming back and showing everyone that I deserve to be the champion. And in 2018, going back and reclaiming my title. I mean, it was such a good feeling at the time. I mean, I worked so hard for it. I was training so incredibly hard. And I went to the provincials, and I won my first. I won my 2 fights by knockout, and I went to the nationals, and I won the first fight by knockout, second fight by knockout, third fight by decision, and fourth fight by decision. So I had 6 fights to lead me to the national championships final and claiming the gold medal again.
Not to get you off topic, but how many of your professional fights have been by knockout?
All of them. 9-0, 9 knockouts.
All of them.
Yeah.
How can you have a more confident answer than that? I knew it was a high percentage. I didn't know it was all of them, though. And basically, back when Lucas was on fire and doing fights every month, I was like looking forward to going on your gram like once a month and seeing who you knocked out. Because it's always felt bad. Like, it's always a pleasure to watch it. As I probably told you, I am not a big fighter myself. I do 100% plan on getting into some sort of discipline at some point. I actually just met, I can't remember his name or what his place is, but he runs a jiu-jitsu studio. And we both took our PAL together, which is your firearms license. And he said that he used to do some sort of sparring or maybe coach you or something when you were younger.
Oh, yeah?
Jiu-jitsu. Yeah, because we were talking about how I do photo and video, and I said that I asked him if he knew you just because of the combat background, and he does know you. I'll have to remember at some point. But he was a stand-up guy, and said he used to live in Japan for years and learned the discipline of jiu-jitsu and whatnot. That changed his life, and you can just tell he's a no-nonsense guy. He is into his craft, and obviously he's in the business of running his own jiu-jitsu studio. So, have you dabbled in any other sort of disciplines besides boxing?
You know what? In high school, I tried out wrestling, and that was basically the extent of that. I think I was playing other sports at the time, and the schedules didn't add up, so I just It was
Right.
kind of just for fun anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I was just strictly boxing.
Okay.
I never really got into the Muay Thai or the Jiu-Jitsu.
You know what else I just remembered too? You should tell the audience about your experience with Mayweather Senior.
I'm the man to be.
Yeah.
You wanna get beat.
Las Vegas. Yeah, I met him twice.
Yeah.
Met him twice.
He's got this one video on his gram at some point of him with Floyd Mayweather Senior in like what was it, Nevada?
Yeah.
In the Nevada desert with the big dunes behind him, and but he's just, and Mayweather Senior's literally just got the pads up, and like you got the backdrop of Nevada, and who else was there with you?
Josh Lupia.
Josh Lupia. He's also a Niagara boxer. He's doing the same thing with another guy in the background. It was just like some Eye of the Tiger shit, man. Was that the song that was playing, or was there?
No, I
anything
don't
that?
think there was a song
Okay,
playing. in the
I'm just
video.
like remembering it with the Eye of the Tiger because that's like so appropriate.
That's hilarious. Yeah, I
But,
did some
yeah.
training out there. And
This is a real fucking dude. Like seriously, you gotta keep your eyes on this guy for Canadian sports and athletes and whatnot. He's going somewhere.
Yeah, it was fun going out there and training with guys like Floyd Senior and going to the Mayweather gym. It's just a total different experience, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we don't have the opportunity sometimes in Canada to see that world class, world champion boxers in the same gym as you. Like I seen UFC fighters in there, and it's amazing to see.
Any you could name?
The one day, which UFC fighter was it? The big Frank. He fought Brock Lesnar.
Oh, that might be a little bit before my time. I kind of got into UFC heavier in around like 2015. And I
can't
don't think I've ever seen
remember
Brock
his
Lesnar
name.
fight in the UFC.
I can't remember his name. He had 2 fights with Brock Lesnar.
So he must be massive then.
Yeah, he's a monster. I remember shaking his hand. His hand ate my hand. Like,
I
I was
know,
like,
right?
what
Dude, that stuff blows my mind. I feel
Yeah.
so insignificant when I shake someone's hand. It's just like, I'm like, okay, bro.
the? Yeah, I got a ton of hits too.
Yeah, so we just took a quick, brief cut due to some camera malfunction, but we're still here, alive and well. To wrap off, I guess the last question would be similar to what I already asked about 2020 in relation to 2021. I know for me personally, I think 2021 is going to be a huge year of growth, especially after all the lows and the downs of 2020, man. Like, I think that 2020 was a great time to plan for the future and self-reflect and kind of break down and build a roadmap to success in 2021. And I think if like you're someone that was kind of lost in life, like I really hope that some people kept their chin up despite the madness of what was going on and kind of like built a roadmap and kind of thought about what they want to do with their life. Like I think that this was like a once in a lifetime opportunity to think about, where am I in life? What am I doing? And how can I improve? There's a lot of people that are stuck in that rat race, and they don't have any time to think about things outside of paying their bills. So being able to take that break, maybe take some stimulus and just chill, I think was like hugely valuable, man. And I hope like more people than not realized it. So I'm sure you had some value of having a little bit of time off, and you didn't waver away from your hard work ethic, which I'm sure some fighters did, just because of the uncertainty. But so similar to the other question, 2020 versus 2021, where are you going in 2021 in the short term?
I mean, for me, I'm always looking long term.
Yeah, that's too short term. But yeah, if you wanna expand on like just this year and where you're going after that, please do.
Yeah, I mean, for the next few months, I'm gonna get this fight over with next week.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, come back with a nice knockout. And I mean,
By your
after
track record, I would bet on it.
I know.
I like a little bit of sports betting.
And my buddies are just waiting for the time for the bets to open up on my fights. But I mean, after this fight, in the next upcoming months, I know my manager Phil. He's working on a lot of big things for me right now, and he's in talk with a lot of the world-class promoters all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
And
Phil Logreco?
Yep.
Okay, right.
Yeah, have you met him?
I haven't. I just know that you guys are working pretty tightly.
Yeah. So Phil's in talks with all the big names right now, and we're hoping something to build onto in the next few months. Maybe a promotional contract with one of the major promoters.
Sweet.
So there's a lot of things to look forward to for myself in the next couple months. Hoping have a big fight probably in February. Don't really have a location yet. We don't really know what's going on. Hoping to have it in Niagara Falls, but depending on where this takes us, will be the outcome of the fight. So we'll see what happens in the next few months with obviously COVID, and hopefully things will open back up again.
Yeah, I'm very. I guess we won't get into my COVID views. I was just gonna say I think that we're more prepared than ever with mask sanitization. Social distancing. Definitely more prepared than ever, even though the numbers kind of show adversely in Toronto. As you know, we just went on lockdown yesterday for Toronto and Peel. I'm pro business, man. Let the small businesses do their thing. We don't need to have all the big conglomerates being the only ones that win out of the situation. The rich get richer in crisis. So I hope we don't do too much lockdowns, and I hope that we kind of keep our shit together and are able to have events like your boxing events, even if it has to be modified with the crowds and whatnot to make it safe.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah, I definitely hope to see some events from you in 2020. I don't know logistically how it will work with the audience, if it has to be live streamed or you have like limited cap with social distancing, but whatever has to be done, I hope that you're able to pull something together for a good event.
Yeah, hopefully soon there'll be
it's
some
too bad it
modified
can't be the
events.
way it used to be, because our first job that Lucas and I did was for his event, Rumble in the Falls 3, and like, man,
What a show.
I think I had just gotten back from Iceland, and like it was a day or two after that, and showing up at this show with like jet lag, the energy there like pulled me right out of it. Like seeing all these familiar faces, because Niagara looks like a big city and it's really not. It's actually got the small city kind of population. It's only 85,000. So if you've grown up here, you know a lot of people in Niagara, like you or I. And yeah, just seeing all these familiar faces sitting at different tables with like the nice food and the drink bars and like the lighting and everything, like that event was so kick-ass, man. It's too bad that for the foreseeable short-term future you can't do something like that, but like, man, I'm sure a lot of people won't forget that night.
Yeah,
it was unreal.
I know. That was my last amateur fight.
Yeah, that was the last one.
That was 100%. That was a good time.
Yeah, man.
What a show.
I'm glad we were able to do that. And Rumble in the Falls, what a name. I love it. Yeah, man. So I think we'll close out with that. I appreciate you coming through and doing a little cross promotion with me and whatnot. I'm looking forward to working with you in the future.
Definitely.
And I'm definitely going to be looking out for that 10 out of 10 professional knockout. And are you fighting in the capital of Mexico next week, or?
Fighting in Mexico City.
Is that the capital, or I know it's the biggest city in Mexico, right?
Yeah.
At least vertically it is.
Yeah,
I know it's quite expansive, right?
Population-wise as well.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, I brought you a pair of my mini
yo.
gloves here.
Right on, man.
You can hang them in your car, hang them on your Christmas tree, whatever you want.
They're definitely going on the Christmas tree before they go in my car. Only
Yeah,
because you brought it up. I think that's a sweet idea.
When the Christmas tree comes down,
It's
you
gonna
put
be
them
the
in the car.
mistletoe, bro.
100%. Put them on there.
Unreal, man. Okay, well, I appreciate you tossing me those, man. And thanks again for coming on. And hopefully we can have you back on in the next round or two. I think we're going to be releasing these weekly, so should last till about February. So sometime in the new year, man, we'll update on how this fight went. And I'm sure probably your next fight, if you said is in February, will have already taken place. So we'll kind of just see where you're at and where you're going from there, man.
That's awesome, man. I appreciate you having me, and I look forward to being on again.
Yeah, no problem, man. I appreciate it. Okay, good luck.
Thank you.
I got nothing else, man.